As November comes to a close, the festive season is starting. That means winter, Christmas, snow, cozy days by the fireplace. My university invited us illustration students to participate in a competition to win a chance to see our artwork printed on uni postcards. So the criteria was to design a postcard for the festive season, and that's what I'm going to be doing in this video. So the main thing for me was just that I really wanted to encapsulate the cozy feeling of the festive season. I had a few ideas, like a family during Christmas dinner, a cozy Christmas living room, etc. I landed on a snowy village instead because I wanted this like festive illustration to be more like a cozy winter for everyone kind of festive and not necessarily linked to Christmas, but it can also be linked to Christmas if that makes sense, because obviously not everyone celebrates Christmas. And yeah, I really wanted to like just capture that feeling of this time period and not have it focus solely on the Christmas part, but obviously it can still link up to Christmas. So I have this couple walking through a winter wonderland. There's this cozy little village with lights illuminating the path, snow on the pine trees, like just that winter magic of the festive season. In my little like secondary window on my iPad, you can see my thumbnail, and I kept that up there throughout the entire drawing process so that I don't lose track of the colors and the vibe I'm going for. I always start off with a colored thumbnail when I'm making like big pieces like this, or like bigger illustrations where I have to be more conscious of backgrounds and lighting and colors and contrast and just different stuff like that, not just like a little portrait. Then I have to actually plan out and be aware of all the different elements of my drawing to make sure that they work together. So it really helps me to have a little thumbnail to kind of like guide me. And then I go off and make a like more detailed sketch, and then I start with the base colors, and from there I go on with shading and rendering, and the whole, you should know the whole drill by now if you've seen any of my other recent digital illustrations. So at the beginning here, my drawing does look very depressing and soulless, because I didn't really want to go in with all the colors and the lighting until I had some like base shading down on all the different elements in this drawing. So don't worry, it won't look like that for very long, just while I'm like doing the first shading of the drawing. But yes, once I start going in with the colors and the lighting, that's when the like real magic really starts to come through in this drawing. I didn't always record everything for this drawing. Obviously, I didn't record the thumbnail sketching or the base colors, just because this video ends up being way too long otherwise. I think the sketch could be interesting, maybe the thumbnail, but I don't really like having to, I don't know, I like the privacy of that stage of my art, if that makes sense. I don't like feeling like I have an audience for that part. And then the base colors, there's really just nothing to show then, because I'm literally just coloring in the different areas. So I feel like the most exciting part anyway is the coloring and the lighting and shading and just like the drawing coming to life. But if you guys want to see like the sketching process and stuff, then I guess just let me know. I can always Procreate like automatically kind of records like a little process video of your drawings, so I could always post that on YouTube Shorts or TikTok or something. So if you guys are interested in that, I can do that, or just make sure to actually record the sketching process for next time. But otherwise, throughout the drawing, there were a few things that I didn't record as well. That's because there were a lot of times where I thought I was done with this drawing, and like I kind of like came back to it a few hours later and tweaked a few things, and I kind of like did that again and again and again. And I think that's I think it's a good way of working as well, so that I don't end up posting my work and then thinking about all the things that I should have changed that I see now but I didn't see while I was in the middle of it. Like I added snow, for example. I think that really like enhances this drawing. I just had to fix some some little mistakes, like with the feet and the shadow and stuff. Oh, and I added the shadow as well. I don't think I recorded that, but I think that plays such a big part of this drawing. Well, it doesn't necessarily play a big part, but I think that I think that the little touch of the characters' shadows makes such a big difference in this drawing. Like, I think it's such a tiny part of it, but I think it really takes it up a notch. I don't know. I just think it was a great touch. And if I had called it quits when I first walked away from this drawing, then I wouldn't have had that little touch. That, to me, makes a huge difference to this drawing. So, yeah, and a lot of the time I was like, oh, I'll just fix this little thing. There's no point in recording it. But then I kind of got carried away and fixed other things, which is why some of it is not recorded. But yeah, I think my first draft of this drawing, I feel like it looks very different than the final draft, and that just kind of goes to show that it does help to take a step away from your drawing and come back to it a while later, because then you're kind of seeing it with fresh eyes, and you see things that you didn't really see while you were like knees deep in it. About this drawing as a postcard, I am an illustrator. I'm not a designer. I don't know much about graphic design, and like, I guess it's kind of hard to rewire my brain to work or to kind of see my art on products instead of just like something that I see on my iPad, something that could potentially be printed out and hung up on a wall, because that's the illustration part of it, isn't it? It's not so much the design. So I love this piece as an illustration. I think, like, I am happy with it, but I don't think it's that great as a postcard, because obviously as I'm drawing it, I'm thinking of this as an illustration on my iPad. I'm thinking about people seeing it on social media. I'm thinking about, prints of it, but I'm not thinking about it as much as the actual intended product, which is a postcard. And I don't know, I just feel like I do too much sometimes, like, sometimes simplicity really is better, and especially for products like this, I think. Like, if you Google like Christmas postcards, you're not going to be getting like big illustrations of like big detailed illustrations. A lot of it will be like simple, cute, festive stuff, something that works in a smaller format, and and then I look at my drawing and I'm like, it's just a bit much in terms of a postcard. So yeah, that's something I'll definitely be more mindful of in the future, because I have had a few projects at university now as well, where we're making art specifically for a certain type of product, and I still catch myself thinking too much in terms of an illustrator and not enough, and I'm not focusing enough on the design part of it. Like when we made posters, we made movie posters for my last project, and it's kind of hard to remind myself that I'm supposed to make these drawings with the intention of them being movie posters, not just drawings. It's not just something I do on my iPad or even by hand. It's not something I just paint and then, boom, art, There's like an actual purpose to it. And there's so many things you have to take into account depending on what kind of product it is as well. So this is something that I have learned throughout, not just my like university projects, but also through this little postcard design. Just that I just have to be more mindful of the intended purposes of my art, because I'm so used to just making something like visually pleasing or aesthetic for like social media, or in the future even like making little prints of them. But yeah, that's something I've learned. I took a break from uploading on all my social media platforms last week, and that's because it was a very, very busy week for me. I had a lot of projects, or actually all my projects were due in 1 week. I had a lot of work stuff as well. And the week before that, I was out sick for the whole week, so I had so much work I had a lot of like university stuff to catch up on, so I just didn't have the time to focus on, my social media stuff. But I am back now, and yeah, I'll try to keep like backup work for cases like this, because I obviously didn't know I was gonna get sick. I didn't, no one knows that that's gonna happen. It's just an unforeseeable inconvenience that just happened, and like I just couldn't really do work for a week, and then I come back and it happens to be the week where everything is due, and then I'm just so far behind on everything, and I just don't have the time to be making new art for social media and, editing the videos and, all the other aspects of social media that entails. So I think it might be helpful to probably have some backup work for those cases, To what I've been up to lately, I have been watching season 2 of Arcane. Not fully caught up yet, but by the time this video comes out, hopefully I am. I have been playing 2 games with my partner lately, and that is Mario Party Jamboree and Core Keeper. Those are the 2 games we've been playing lately. I finished the second Poppy War book, which is the Dragon Republic, so now I am working on the Burning God. Almost done with that trilogy now. And yeah, that's what those are the things that I've been up to outside of, uni work. And since I've finished and sent in all my project work for last week, and I am, slowly but surely working on my next project work, I now have time to do other things for, personal use and for, social media and stuff like that. To my current art projects, like I said, I haven't done much outside of uni work lately, but I did start on some Jinx drawings because I want to do some Arcane fan art while the season is still airing. So hopefully that will be out sometime. Because I don't know if Arcane finishes this weekend or if it's next weekend, but I think it's one of the two. So it would be nice to have some Arcane fan art while it's still airing, is still trending. And other than that, I've recorded a bit of my uni work for this next project. I've done some watercolor paintings. I'm planning on doing some more after this voiceover. So if you guys are interested in seeing more of my uni work and like maybe being taken through my uni work from beginning to end and not just like one portion of it, if that's interesting to you guys, then let me know. And yeah, if you guys want to keep up on my art throughout the week, go to my TikTok at Fangirl, post several times a week there. Go to my Instagram at Fangirl, and I like to add a lot of like work in progress shots and just like behind the scenes stuff to my story there. And yeah, I'll see you guys next Sunday.